Happy Sunday, guys. I want to take you through in today's video why healthy eating or clean eating is actually the thing that is killing your energy levels day to day. And I know it sounds counterintuitive, but I really want to break this down for you. If you're eating clean all the time, you're whole foods focused, you've got no junk, no sugar, no seed oils, but you are feeling flat in the afternoon, you have that 3 p.m. crash, you've got no energy for your gym sessions, you're waking up tired, and you're having that brain fog during work, then it could be because eating healthy isn't technically the same as eating to fuel your body. Most women don't have an energy problem, they have an energy availability problem. And that's because the food might look good on paper, but it isn't actually, when we break it down, meeting the needs of the demands that they're placing on their body day to day. And that's because when we break it down, the food can look good on paper, but it's not technically meeting the demands that they're placing on their body day to day. So the first reason could be that you're eating clean, but you're not actually eating enough. So if we break it down, most women are going for the low fat options, lean meats, salads, and fruits and veggies. Now, good on paper and all healthy, yes, absolutely, but high protein and low energy availability when we break it down. Okay, so let's pick it apart. Those vegetables, for example, they give you lots of micronutrients, which is epic, but not much fuel. Then when we flip it to that lean protein, that's gonna fuel your muscle growth and repair. Again, amazing, but not going to give you a whole lot of energy. Then comes those salads. Again, lots of micronutrients in there, but low energy availability. They fill your plate, they help fill your volume, but they aren't giving you much glycogen, which again is that energy. Your body runs on energy, not just the health metric of the meal alone. And when the actual amount of food that you're eating doesn't meet what your body needs, everything slows down and everything is impacted. I'm talking metabolism, hormones, available energy levels, performance in the gym, muscle repair. Absolutely every area will get impacted if you're not eating enough fuel. So a few subtle little hints that you might be missing might be signs like poor training, poor recovery where you're sore for a really long time every single time you train. You might be really caffeine dependent. You might have a 3 p.m. crash, lots of brain fog, and you struggle to focus at work. And you might just be waking up feeling really tired and flat and going to bed feeling exactly the same. These are all subtle signs that your body is giving you that you are chronically under-recovered and chronically under-fueling. The next one that you might be missing is carbs. Now, they're probably included in there if you are eating healthy, but you're probably not eating enough of them, because the first thing that women start to cut out is going to be carbs, because there's still that misconception that carbs make you gain weight or make you hold on to weight, which is so untrue. And when we break it down, carbs are actually your body's preferred energy source. So they are so integral to make sure that you're getting adequate amounts throughout the day. And I'm talking things like grains, rices, brown rice, quinoa, buckwheat, sourdoughs, all forms of carbs basically are what you want to go for. You want to go for those complex carbs that are slow releasing. So it's going to give you that gradual increase of energy rather than the fast spike and the fast crash from something like sugar in lollies, honey, those carbs that are more simple, cereal bars, protein bars that are high in carb. They're all going to give you that really quick spike and that really quick crash. So we really want to lean into complex carbs in combination with that health-based meal that you're eating. When we take these carbs into a training sense as well, they become even more important. So your muscles use something called glycogen to fuel that muscle growth and fuel the workload that they're taking on. Now, glycogen comes from carbs. So if you are either missing out on the carbs pre-training or you're not timing them correctly, then that's going to result in you leaving a lot of progress on the table when it comes to your training sessions. You're going to fall flat in terms of energy, you're going to fall flat in terms of recovery, and at the end of the day, you're just not going to be getting as much bang for your buck as you could be if you were just timing those carbs well pre and post training. The next one is that your healthy diet could actually be stressing your body out and doing more harm than good, because whilst the quality of your food is important, yes, if you're not getting enough fuel and enough food generally, then you're going to be putting your body under more stress and strain, And that's probably more important than anything. At the end of the day, if we even combine the two, the quality and the quantity of your food, that's when it's really king, and that's when we hit the nail on the head in terms of optimal fueling. Because when you think about it, you are busy with work, you're busy with home life, you're probably pretty stressed day to day, just as it is from life in general. And if we then layer on top of that chronic undereating, whether that's intentional or unintentional in this sense of healthy eating, low volume eating, then you're placing your body under even more stress than it is currently under. So you're just layering stress upon stress. Stress then interferes with obviously so many other factors. It raises your cortisol, which can then interfere with your sleep patterns, with your digestion, with your quality of sleep, with your recovery from your training. It ripples into absolutely everything once that stress is compounded. And then if you're trying to build muscle or you're trying to drop body fat, you can absolutely forget it, because if your body's in that stress state, she's in fight or flight and she is not prioritizing any level of progress. Some symptoms to look out for is poor sleep, bloating, slow digestion, that reliance on caffeine, and then kind of that feeling of being really wired but also really exhausted at the same time. And the last silent killer of your energy levels is that you might be pushing meal windows out as far as possible or replacing meals with caffeine. And that caffeine is just going to suppress your hunger. It's going to essentially block the feeling of it. So then you think, oh, I'm not hungry, so I'm not going to eat because I'll just eat a bigger meal later. But consistent meal timings that are well balanced is going to help give you that really stable energy levels all throughout the day, rather than skipping them, pushing them back, replacing them with caffeine. We want that quality fuel consistently across the day. At the end of the day, a healthy diet should support so much more than just how colorful your plate looks. It needs to be supporting your mood, your energy, your recovery, your training, your sleep, your digestion. It ripples into so many other areas of your life aside from just the healthfulness of it. And if the food on your plate or on paper looks healthy and colorful, but you're feeling flat, you have no energy, you have poor digestion, you have a lot of brain fog, then it's not actually healthy. It's probably pretty empty and it probably has some gaps that need to be filled. So remember, whilst the healthfulness of the meal is important, yes, so is the actual fuel going into the tank in terms of how it's supporting your training, your recovery, your energy levels, and your day-to-day. So I urge you to get specific with it. Don't remove your complex carbs. Make sure you're hitting your macronutrients and make sure you're eating enough to fuel the goal that you're actually trying to achieve.